Good morning, everybody. It's about 8:20 on this Wednesday, May 2nd, 2012. And this is a bit of a thank you and slash maybe Q&A audio video for Sean McLean, a.k.a. Zaranyzerak. First of all, Sean, I want to thank you for taking your time to respond to my video. I was just basically taking your advice. I was linking my video to yours because I really enjoyed your overviews. I mean, I really did. I was just kind of a little disappointed that you didn't show all the stuff that people gave you. I mean, you did, but you didn't show most of what, like, say, what I gave you and what other people gave you. Because I know there was some things I saw in some of your package openings besides mine that people had sent you. So, just a bit of a, suggestion if you want to do that as an overview bonus. I'm sure a lot of fans would greatly appreciate that. But first of all, I want to thank you for responding to my video. I mean, I totally get where you're coming from. I totally get where you're coming from now. I mean, I can definitely understand, well, basically, I have a better understanding of what's going on, what happens. I mean, I had no idea. I had no idea that when Justice League was originally conceived, that they were already planning for the future with that show, and everything. So, and that's why it was, I guess, one of the early 2000 animated shows that was able to get a DVD. Not a DVD, but a Blu-ray release. Well, it also had a DVD release, but also a Blu-ray. So I thank you for that, because like I said, I have a better understanding. Here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. The way I look at it, though, is there was one format that got discontinued. I mean, it tried to basically be the next evolution of DVD, and I think you know what I mean. The HD DVD, if you will. And I believe, in my honest opinion, that it had that succeeded in somehow and maybe perhaps stood side by side with Blu-ray, that just my honest, humble opinion, since that's sort of like the next upgrade in DVD, that would have been maybe the answer to what I was talking about. But, since it got discontinued, hey, you just got to go with what you got, right? But again, I appreciate your response to that. But I just still feel that, I don't know why, I just get this gut feeling that someday down the line something's going to happen. Something's going to be done in the near future that's going to answer the question that I, kind of posed in the video you responded to. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. I know, thanks to your response and giving me a better understanding, I know it's not going to be Blu-ray, but it's going to be something down the line. I don't know what it's going to be. It's got to be something, and I'm sure right now they're working on, maybe somebody out there is probably some studio, some company out there is probably working on something. We just don't know what it is yet. I mean, if they could get Transformers and Gem and G.I. Joe to be streamed on Netflix, hey, that's great. They were able to work that out through the DVD files and stuff that they have, so that's good. And, apparently they know what they're doing there, so. But again, I just feel that something's coming up around the road. I don't know what it could be. I don't know what it is, but I know someone out there at a company somewhere is working on something. I don't know what. I just have this feeling. Now, what I mean by that is I just feel that they're going to figure something out. They're going to figure something out that's going to, kind of, get by everything that you said, kind of make it easier for the, as you say, the master tapes, the standard tapes that shows cartoons and primetime shows back in the 80s and sitcoms and all that were all filmed on. So to me, I feel somebody's working on something like that right now. I don't know, what it's going, like I said, I don't know what it's going to be. I don't think anybody does, but I just feel it's going to be developed into something. I don't know what, but I just feel it's going to be developed into something that is going to be the next evolution in optic disc. I mean, I know right now the future everybody's saying is with streaming and on demand and stuff, but I feel that if it comes to physical disc, like Blu-rays and DVDs, I just feel that something's being put into development as we speak. I mean, if you think about it, if you go online, Sean, Zaranyzerak, you go online, you go online, you go to Amazon, you go to Walmart, and you type in Blu-ray recorders. They do sell them. They do sell Blu-ray recorders, and they may not be like the DVD recorder that I have, or that James Wolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, has, or anybody has. But if they're willing to start the trend of Blu-ray recorders, don't you think someday down the line companies are going to start releasing, like Sony or Philips or Panasonic are going to start releasing the Blu-ray recorders just as they did with DVD recorders? I think that's going to happen soon. And yeah, it may be more tailor-made for somebody to have, like, say, an HD TV or 3D TV and say, hey, look, you need that TV to be able to record with this device. So, I'm thinking that would probably be the first step, because in that way people would be able to record their favorite shows and programs onto Blu-ray. But I'm just saying, I just feel that could be the first step. Now, again, though, if they're selling Blu-ray recorders to where, like, let's say you could hook up a Blu-ray recorder, a small one, a compact one, that obviously they look like, hook it up to your, let's say your DVD player, and transfer what you have on DVD onto that. That would say something. So, again, though, besides that, I still feel something is out there. Something, the next step in optical disc is coming. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be the answer to everybody's questions as to, if shows like what I mentioned could be. Right now, you're right. Blu-ray could be good for them, but, doing what, like, one fan commented in the video, he said, yeah, you could do it. I mean, and you responded to him by saying, yeah, they could do what they said in that comment, but DVD makes it not so obvious. Blu-ray would. So, or something like that. I don't really know. But again, I appreciate you responding to my video, and again, you really did help out in that category. I mean, I do understand that there are some shows from the 80s, 60s, and 70s and all that, and even the 50s that could get the Blu-ray treatment. I mean, heck, let's take a look at maybe some classic cartoons from, let's say, the 50s and maybe early bits of the 60s and maybe even further than that. I mean, I'm pretty sure because they were animated on film, this is no doubt maybe not, that they could probably get a Blu-ray treatment, but then again, maybe not. Then again, maybe not. So I don't really know exactly what would happen with those kind of situations. But again, I appreciate you taking your time to do that. And again, I have a better understanding. I really do have a better understanding. It's just my personal opinion. I feel that somebody out there is developing the next step to Blu-ray, something that's going to basically solve all the problems, maybe, and maybe answer all the questions people have. So that's just my personal opinion. Take it if you like. If you disagree with me, that's fine. Because there's no doubt you know a lot more than myself and some others do. So I give you that. But anyway, I said this was also a bit of a Q&A, so I thought I'd kind of throw some Q&A at you, if you want to take the time to do it. First of all, I want to know exactly what would you like to see released on Blu-ray that has not yet even got. Well, here's the question: what movies do you know of that so far only have been VHS and Laserdisc that you would like to see on Blu-ray and DVD? What movies would you like to see? That so far, like I said, all you know is still just known for VHS and Laserdisc release. What movies, Sean, would you like to see get those Blu-ray and DVD treatments? Me personally, Sean, I'll answer that question as well if you want to answer it. If you can answer it, I'm sorry. It's the morning. It's 8:38. I mean, it's 8:31, 8:30. So, what are you gonna? But I'll be honest with you, Sean. A movie I would like to see get a DVD treatment and Blu-ray is the film that is sort of independent that I sent you in a package opening recently, and that's The Invisible Kid. I know somebody, and I'm pretty sure I think I know who would do the. I'm pretty sure somebody out there, one studio is going to give it that release, and I think I know which one. I think I know what studio, and I'm putting my bets on Mill Creek to be the one that gives The Invisible Kid with Jay Underwood and China Phillips a DVD and Blu-ray release down the line. So that's one of the movies I would like to see, as well as I'd like to see GoBot's Battle of the Rock Lords get a DVD release as well. So a DVD and Blu-ray release officially, if you know what I mean. All right. Now, secondly, excuse me, my dog's getting distracted by what she sees outside. So if you hear a barking in the background, that's my fault. Um. Anyway, what was the other? Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. If you have ever seen if you've ever seen the animated series Silverwing, it's an animated series. It was created in Canada, so I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen it a couple of times. I own the series set. Actually, I DVD fabbed it, if you will. So, but I'm wondering if you've ever seen it, and if you've ever thought of ever getting your hands on it. I think it's still available at Amazon and all that. So I'm just curious if you've ever heard of Silverwing, and let me know. Let me know if you have or not. Also, okay, and that's like I said, that's two questions so far. All right. All right, the third question. One thing I can appreciate about Mill Creek that at first I was kind of dumbfounded by until you kind of cleared it up is the little packs, is their DVD packs that they release. You know how they got, like you've shown recently with your crime pack that they release with all the shows and everything. You know, one thing a lot of people have always asked, one thing a lot of people have always asked about, always been wanting, and I'm sure you would agree with this, is everybody's been wanting to see a definitive Saturday morning DVD release of all the classic Saturday morning cartoons from the 70s, the 80s, and even the 60s, and a bit of the 90s. They've been wanting that, and yet they have not got that definitive collection. One of the things I plan to do in the future, because I've downloaded a few episodes of Dino Saucers, Silver Hawks, and a few Thundercats, and maybe a He-Man and She-Ra here and there, is to create what I call an 80s DVD collection. A variety of 80s cartoons. And the thing is, I would like to do that. I just haven't had the time, and maybe I should focus on doing that real soon. But to me, this is one thing I know a lot of fans always want. They want to have that definitive collection. I mean, like I mentioned in the chat room briefly, on Friday, the 27th, I should say, of April, To me, the DVD, to me, when I mentioned the Saturday morning DVD stuff that Warner Brothers released, which is a variety, a 2-disc variety, is a 2-disc variety of cartoons from Hanna-Barbera and Ruby Spears. My thought was, why couldn't, and I even saw some people comment about this. The thing is, my thought is, why can't they do a definitive collection? I'm just saying. And since Mill Creek, has this association now with Cookie Jar, they have this association with Filmation and stuff, why can't they do it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I understand if you go to the Mill Creek webpage and you look up cartoons, it does show you that they have the 3 to 4 cartoon variety disc, which is consisting of 3 discs, if you know what I mean. So, but the thing is, what I'm talking about is they got all this variety. They have He-Man, they have She-Ra, they have Fat Albert, they have the Archies, if you will. They have, they have this diverse variety of cartoons, if you will, from the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. The thing to me is, if they could do what they did with the Perfect Crime thing, that crime pack that you have, why can't they do the same for why can't they do the same for Saturday morning cartoons that people grew up in the 80s with? I mean, even if it's a one-time deal, give Mill Creek or give Shout Factory the opportunity to say, okay, here's a variety pack and it costs blah blah blah. I mean, look what they sell for about what? About what? $10 sometimes, even cheaper than that if you go to Walmart. They sell a pack. I don't know how many discs are in it, but they sell a pack of 200 to 500 cartoons, classic cartoons, featuring Betty Boop, featuring Popeye, featuring Foghorn Leghorn, you name it. Casper the Friendly Ghost. I mean, why can't they do this for more of the 80s, 70s, and 60s cartoons that they could associate with? I mean, don't you think that even though it may not be the best quality, that it would be something worth earth to the fans, to the consumers? I mean, I think it would be. So do you think perhaps a company like Mill Creek or even Shout Factory should look into that and possibly, even if it's a one-time deal, create and release a definitive Saturday morning cartoon collection, or at least a cartoons collection by decade? Saturday morning editions and, let's say, weekday morning and weekday afternoon editions. Do you think that's not possible? Because I hope it is. I do, and I hope it happens. But do you think it would happen? Would you like to see that? Fourth question. I know that recently you've been doing, well, over the past, I guess, half the year now or something like that, a past year, you've been doing the Multimedia Chronicles in HD, 1080p HD. Now, I know this might be a crazy question, but since they have Blu-ray recording drivers, if you will, do you think you'll ever consider doing Blu-ray releases of your more recent HD high-definition editions of the Multimedia Chronicles in the future? Do you think that's ever possible for you? I'm just curious. Let me know about that. And finally, what are your thoughts on some of the variety packs that Mill Creek releases? I mean, you got one variety pack or one DVD or whatever of 4 TV pilot movies that the shows never really took off or never really carried on, or they never, came to be, but the pilots are there. What do you think of Mill Creek's release of those things? What do you think of Mill Creek's release of the holiday classics and stuff like that? What are your thoughts on some of these variety packs? I mean, I know you have some, but what are your thoughts on them? Do you think they're a great situation for Mill Creek to do? And do you see Mill Creek possibly doing Blu-ray variety packs with them in the near future? And I'm not talking television and all that. I'm just talking the ones, like you said, that were done on film that they put in variety packs. Do you see them doing basically the do you see them basically doing, like I was saying, Blu-ray releases? Sorry, my brain's not totally awake right now, but do you see them doing variety Blu-ray releases in the future with those? Just let me know, and hopefully you can answer these questions. If not, take your time, do other response videos if you have to. Do what you have to catch up on your things. Again, I enjoyed your overview. I really enjoyed it, and a little bit of it, and just a suggestion. If you could do like an overview bonus, if you will, on the stuff that people sent you through package openings, like myself, David Bunch of Numbers, and stuff like that. So, again, thank you for you responding to the video. I have a better understanding. And take care, man, and I'll talk to y'all later.